I'm totally testing something else out here. Something else meaning I'm streaming on my phone. This is going to be interesting. We'll see how this works. So, a while back, I was playing some PC Engine stuff on Twitch. Oh, let me clean this. Clean this thing. Is that better? It's still me. Damn it. I was streaming some TurboGrafx stuff, and someone had mentioned, and I can actually see my chat here too. This is actually really slick. Someone had mentioned seeing a tour of like the game library that I had, because I said, you know, I own all these games that I've been streaming or whatever, and someone had mentioned wanting to see some of the Turbo stuff, and that it would be really fun to see that. And so I'm like, I'm really holding this up. I'll hold it back like this. I was thinking that it'd be really cool to show it off, and I was trying to think of a good way to show off a lot of the PC Engine or TurboGrafx stuff I have. And I figured this would be a great way to do it on my phone, on Twitch, just showing it off, because I've never actually really done that before. I have all my TurboGrafx stuff all displayed in a certain way. Not in boxes anymore, which is great. And so I figured, let's show it off. So I have like a lot of crap, so I'm trying to not take up a million minutes of your time. But if you want to watch this and hang out to kind of look at some of it, we can do that. So here's my wacky-do, like, kind of mantle of TurboGrafx stuff. Most everything I have for Turbo is genuine stuff. But there's bootlegs in here. So, whoa, holy shit. Yes, I do own some bootlegs. They were either gifted to me or part of like trades, exchanges, etc., etc. There are some bootlegs in here, so be careful. Just so you know, I'm not like flipping shit and trading stuff to other people that are and pretending to be genuine or anything like that. I'm just collecting stuff to have as many games that I could possibly have for the system. So over here, you'll see the mantle of TurboGrafx junk. It includes like some special collector stuff like the Turbo Views DVD series by Chris Bucci, who's a frickin' genius. I love that guy. His reviews are amazing and hilarious. Check that out. He has now reviewed every single TurboGrafx game released in the US. And then the DVD behind the scenes for Mysterious Song have that as well, which is super cool for a homebrew game that came out 4 or 5 years ago now. The FX Unit Yuki soundtrack, which is another homebrew game. Awesome soundtrack. Really good stuff there. And then I think this one is the Cotton soundtrack that Tim or Electro Haze created a few years ago. That I have as well for some soundtracks. And then a whole bunch of different random things. Sun Team Paul over at Sun Team Paul with the... what is his website? Jesus, I'm like blanking on it. PC Engine Fan. He created a few different booklets that I have here too as well. And I can go over a lot of those later on. Some of them are old school stuff that came out around the time the TurboGrafx came out, like some ads and stuff, bookmarks that Sun Team made, other booklets. The Turbo Zone Direct, Turbo Zone Direct books for selling games and stuff. Like, look at these prices. You probably can't see these that good, but like Dungeon Explorer 2 was... Oh, this isn't the price guide. This is just what page they're on. But anyway, some of the price guides and stuff for Turbo games back in the 90s, which were a lot less expensive than they are now. And the Club Duo magazine, game catalog, TurboGrafx 16 game encyclopedia, the secrets of the TurboGrafx, all kinds of junk. I'm a bit of a collector with that shit. I got a lot of stuff. It's true. Okay, now let's start looking at some games here. I have a couple things that I keep for portability. So let's start here. Move these apples out of the way. To be able to take piles and piles of games and bring them along to game conventions and whatnot. So I'm going to flip this around here. Boop. Okay, there we go. So one of the ways that I keep HuCards is actually in these sports cards booklets. So instead of just keeping sports cards in them or magic cards or whatever, you can keep HuCards in the same way and actually this works really well for HuCards as well. So I've got a few in there. HuCards, oh geez, and in Japan they call them HuCards, and in America they call them Turbo Chips. I tend to call them HuCards because even Turbo Chips said HuCard on them. Like look here at Vigilante, it says HuCard. So I don't know why they decided to call them Turbo Chips in the U.S. I think it's just because they think that they had the better way of saying it, or trying to market it as the Turbo Graphics, so every game needs to be called a Turbo Chip or whatever. But here's Energy, a really terrible game made by Masaya or NCS. It's actually a game that has a really good soundtrack, but terrible gameplay. Sonic Spike, a really fun, actually a very fun four-player volleyball game for the Turbo. Wrestling game. Don't really remember what the name of that one is. And then, of course, Vigilante for the Turbo. You can tell on the backs here, too, which ones play on the US Turbo and which ones play on the Japanese PC engines. So, Pac-Land, Clax, F1 Race. I'm not really sure which game that is. And then Vegis Tactical Gladiator, the US version. I think this is Victory Run, the Japanese version of Victory Run. You can see. Oh, another thing too to look at in Japanese games is they liked to put volumes on them. Let's see, now I'm flipping through. Sorry. So this is Volume 3. Oh, focus! Come on, dude. There you go. Volume 3. Which that means is that this is a Hudson Soft HuCard, and they would put volume numbers on each one of them. So every game would come out, and they'd put a number on them, so it's easier for collecting them. Like if you think about, if there's 100 games for it, and you have the number 1, Volume 1, then you'd look for Volume 2 and Volume 3 and whatever else. Not that they were sequels to each other, not that they were even in the same universes. It's just the way that Hudson would put their games together and sell them for the PC engine. Aeroblaster's an awesome shoot 'em up. That's the American version. If anything that says TurboGrafx is the American version, anything that doesn't or just says PC Engine is the Japanese version. Ninja Spirit. I can't remember the name of this one. And sorry, my Japanese is really sloppy lately. I've not been practicing at all lately, so apologies. This is Namcot or Namco's. Oh. Hello, if you need a real, free, and high-quality service to increase your viewers, check streamdetails.com. Okay. Oh, thanks, Velfafarez1E. Sorry, I'm trying to read the chat as well. Someone's coming in and spamming me, saying I can increase my viewers. Sorry, I know I only have one viewer now, but this is just my lunch break. So I'm just trying to get some extra content in here to show off the Turbo collection. Baseball game, SCI Criminal Investigations. That's a HuCard. Rabiolepus, sorry. I actually really enjoy Rabiolepus. The last time Tony Majors was up here, we actually played a lot of this. It's actually like this cute shoot 'em up, so a lot of people call them cute 'em ups. It's a good game. It actually has a lot of similarities to Lords of Thunder, if you believe it or not, because it's a game where you have a character or a sprite on the screen that you move around. It's vertical scrolling. So, wait, no. Horizontal scrolling. Vertical, horizontal. Sorry. Horizontal scrolling shoot 'em up. Where you move your little character around and you're shooting bad guys, whatever. But if something gets too close to you, you use a melee attack and kill it, just like Lords of Thunder. So it's actually pretty similar. It's got really good graphics, a lot of parallax, so it's a really good one. I believe this is a Shanghai game, or Mahjong. Actually not familiar with it at all. Haven't played it much. Double Dungeons, fantastic game. I believe Raffle Mao, who attended last night's East stream, was talking about how him and his son are playing Double Dungeons now. What is it? It's a game that is like a first-person dungeon crawler, sort of like what I guess Wizardry or Might and Magic, but it's like very fast-paced. Like the battles take like 10 seconds or less. And the idea that in the cruising through the tunnels, cruising through the corridors is very quick, very, very quick. It's not a bad game. A lot of people get lost though because there really is only one like dungeon and it just goes on forever. You have levels and stuff and different like levels of the dungeon that you're going up, but it's pretty I don't know. Once you've played one dungeon, you played them all kind of. The only thing that's really different in each level is like the bad guys get stronger and the bosses are different. But I like it. It's 2 players simultaneous. It has a good soundtrack too. It only really has 1 song, but it's pretty fun. Battle Royale, one of the only wrestling games that came out in the U.S. Actually, it might be the only wrestling game that came out on the Turbo in the U.S. It's fun for 5 players simultaneous, and it's not terrible playing against computer, but it's very quirky. You pretty much have to get used to playing this one game. If you're good at wrestling games, it doesn't matter. This is a very different game. And the only type of gameplay it is too is battle royals. So you only do over the top rope to eliminate somebody. Lode Runner, the original Lode Runner, Lost Labyrinth for the PC Engine, taking it to the hoop. One of the 2 TurboGrafx basketball games that came out. Legendary Axe, one of the most fantastical games that came out on the system. Space Harrier, this is the PC Engine version of it. This is Sega's Space Harrier. Pretty strange seeing a Sega game on a TurboGrafx, but actually it was not too uncommon back in the day. A lot of Sega games came out on the Turbo. Legendary Axe is really good. It was kind of TurboGrafx's Castlevania, if you want to say that much. I don't know. It's really good though. JJ and Jeff, or in Japan it was called Kato-chan and Ken-chan. This is actually volume 6. A lot in common with Adventure Island. With a melee attack. So you don't throw projectiles like Adventure Island, but you do kick and punch, or at least kick things. Shubibin Man 2. This is Shockman in the US. I got the Japanese version because it's a lot less expensive. I played this on the stream on the TurboGrafx's birthday on, October 30th, I think it was. So a couple weeks ago on a Saturday morning, I played through Shockman. Great game. Shubibin Man 2, same exact game, just in Japanese. Fire Pro Wrestling 3, Legendary Bout, or Legend Bout. This is the 3rd game in the series of Fire Pro Wrestling. Bonk's Adventure, the fucking TurboGrafx mascot, man. One of the best games ever. One of the best game series ever. Awesome platformer. It was like our swan song for platforming. If you wanted to show off your TurboGrafx, you played Bonk's Adventure, Bonk's Revenge. Psychosis. Oh, hold on. This isn't empty. There we go. San 2. Look at how beat up this HuCard is. This is awesome. I imported this, and look at that is so faded and so beat up. I love it. Do you know how much history is probably on this system? On this HuCard? How many different places it's been? How many different consoles it's been played on? Oof, it is beat up. And I imported it for $3 or $4. I love it. It works perfect. No problems. And it's a good game too. It's actually a really fun game. Really fun platformer. Psychosis is a really weird shoot 'em up. Came out on the Turbo. Very fun. Great music, great graphics, tons of parallax scrolling. So if you're into that, dude, you need to check it out. Hit the Ice is a pretty good arcade port, a TurboGrafx port of the arcade game Hit the Ice, Ice Hockey by Taito. So a lot of fun there. This is, I believe, this is Adventure Island. So this is the first one. Bukuriman, yeah. This is, you'd have to go into great detail and really talk about this series. These are both games in the Wonder Boy series. I have to do a long explanation, or you need to Google how the difference between Adventure Island and then Wonder Boy and how it all worked out. And then when the TurboGrafx or the PC Engine got its editions of these games, Bokuriman was I think Wonder Boy 2. And then Adventure Island is Wonder Boy 3, or what we mostly called it, Dragon's Trap, which I believe has been rebooted and rebuilt for newer consoles, the Dragon's Trap games. Really good stuff. Adventure Island's awesome. Or Dragon's Curse on the TurboGrafx. Great games. And of course, China Warrior. Fantastic game. Gigantic, huge sprites. And if you are able to play through it, you know how cool it is. If you turn it off after the first stage, you probably didn't get very far. And then I think this is like a Game Express card, which you needed to play the weird Game Express games, which were kind of slutty games. All right. Some more HuCards here. These are the ones that I kind of have in my travel case, so it's easy for me to grab and go. Super Dodgeball, or Kunio Dodgeball game. A great game. Kickball. So Kickball is one of the strangest games on the Turbo. Man, it's a PC Engine game. This game takes place in the Shockman or Shubibi-Man world. As a matter of fact, I think it's a couple different game series that are combined into one. But you see how Shockman and Shockshade, or Arnold and Sonia, are on the cover because you can play kickball with those characters from the Shockman games. That's really pretty much it, but it's really cool. Ramune, which I don't know if you guys are very familiar with. This is actually something that just came out in the last year. 2021. Remute, or Ramute. It's a soundtrack, chiptune soundtrack that this dude, Remute, put out on the Turbo or the PC Engine. You just put it in your game system, and it's got a little bit of graphical menu system, and you listen to music, and it's actually really good. With voice samples, too. So you need to check it out. I liked it a lot. It's really cool. I listened to the whole thing, and I also got the MP3s of it, too. So, Parodius for the PC Engine. I mean, shit, you should know this game. If you played Gradius and you really enjoy the Gradius series or the Gradius series on arcades, NES, Super Nintendo, etc., Parodius is like a fantastic spin-off of that series. Let's pull from back here. I think this is Samurai Ghost, PC Engine version of it. I liked that game a lot. Here, of course, a bootleg. Oh my gosh, watch out, everybody. But it's Magical Chase. So I'm not going to... And this is a Chop created bootleg of it. Maybe it was Sean. Anyway, I don't remember who made this for me. It's been like 10 years, but this is a game that if you want the TurboGrafx version of it, you're going to spend upwards to $2,000 to $5,000 for. So I don't want to spend that much money on it, and I had a friend to make it for me. So, Magical Chase. Dungeons and Dragons, Order of the Griffin. A very, very good and deep RPG that is missing a little bit of the flavor from some other SSI games. And this is actually an SSI-created TurboGrafx original, which is really crazy and really, honestly, obscure. Most people don't know about Order of the Griffin, but it was a D&D game made in '92. By real official licensed from the same teams that made all the gold box games for like old computers, Commodore, Amiga, etc., etc. It's a good game. It lacks a little bit of the originality because you can't create your party. You have to select people that are like out there, like wizards and bard, fighter, blah blah blah, etc., etc. But it is really good. It's a really good game. I think the storyline's slightly generic because I think the whole quest is just to kill a vampire. And it's like after you beat that battle, then it gives you like a one-screen game over. It says like, congratulations, the vampire's dead. Here's some flavor text. Devil's Crush. Matter of fact, why don't we listen to some Devil's Crush or Alien Crush music? I'm going to jump on and check that out. Devil's Crush. I actually have this album and Alien Crush's album on vinyl. We could listen to those. Those are good. Kyokyo Tiger, HuCard of a classic arcade game. The port onto the Turbo is fantastic, really well done. Shit. I know the real name of this. I don't know the real name of this. I'm gonna just say Badlands, which I know is not the name of it. Someone in the comments can go ahead and correct me, but we would call it Badlands. It's actually a much more fun and much more frustrating game than I ever thought it would be. You basically, one guy, no continues, get as far as you can. I think I've been to the 3rd or 4th stage. Played this recently, actually in September, so it was actually a lot of fun. Bomberman 93, it's Bomberman on the PC Engine. Fucking fantastic game. One of the best versions of Bomberman you can get. Really good stuff. Hattress, I like to wear lots of hats. This is a must play for me. Hattress. And then last but not least, PC Genjin 3, which of course is Bonk 3, Bonk's Big Adventure. This is the HuCard version of it. Good game, really good game. I would say it's not quite up to par as Bonk's Revenge was. Bonk's Revenge is my favorite in the series, but this one does have 2-player simultaneous action and a weird, actually a lot of quirky original levels and huge sprites. It is also an 8 meg HuCard, which is pretty rare. I think this is the 2nd largest HuCard ever made outside of Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2 is a 16 meg. Anyway, those are the HuCards that... This is a HuCard collection of things that I usually bring with to conventions, because it's easy to grab and go and just bring with, and then when I hook up my PC Engines or TurboGrafx, we just play these games, and that's plenty. Is my phone ringing? Oh, goodness. I will decline that. That's the charm of doing a Twitch stream on your... See, look at this. Devil's Crush and Alien's Crush on vinyl. Let's go ahead and turn that on. We can listen to some music. Here we go. See if I can do this with my left hand. See if I can get this to focus also. Sorry, now I'm going to switch hands. Okay, there we go. There we go. Should go on to it. Alright. Sorry, excuse the dust. Also, when I do play games in my living room, I got an old school tube TV in the corner with a Super Graphics down there and a Super CD add-on, because that's the best way to play games. You have basically access to every single game made in the TurboGrafx universe. Not to mention, I do have a PCFX right here in the box with an extra controller if I ever want to play PCFX, which is probably twice a year, if even that. Alright, so let me set this up. I'm going to flip the camera around. Attempting to get my ugly mug back on here again. Sorry, everybody. But I have this. Is that going to show everything? Boop. There we go. Alright. So, hey, welcome to the stream. I know we've got one viewer. It's probably just that spammer or whatever. But, hey, if you do happen to catch this video later on, absolutely follow and subscribe if you want. I have no subscribers so far, but... Alright, the mantle of TurboGrafx stuff. It goes all the way up to the ceiling, basically. Bonk, Sprite, the Adol Sprite, or Adol. When I started the East stream a couple weeks ago, I showed this off. I think it's freaking awesome. I love that. Hankola Creations made that one for me. Also, I've got mugs made. I always, whenever we do like Christmas exchanges and stuff too for like PC Engine FX or PCEngineFans.com now, I think it is. I always just ask people to send me creative stuff like crafts or TurboGrafx themed mugs, t-shirts, stuff like that, because that's pretty much all I ever want people to get for me now, and those types of things, because there isn't much left that I need as far as games. I mean, once in a while I discover a new game. There's this new game... I can't think what it's called. Not a new game. It's a game, and that's homebrew is awesome. I love getting new homebrew games. But let's just start digging through what games we have here. And I'll start from the top. Should I start from the top and just go through every fucking game? Oh my god. Okay, these are all HuCards. Or these are all TurboGrafx US HuCards in no real order other than maybe I've color-coded them. And then it goes into HuCards. These are sort of organized in a certain way, and then it stops here with HuCards, and then it turns into CDs. Is that skipping? Can you hear me? Can you hear it like skipping? So, I don't know. I don't need to talk about every single one of these games. But like Night Creatures is this one... It's kind of dusty. All of these games here are all in their cases and complete. Probably like half of them have spine cards if there was spine cards available. And also some of them will be bootlegs, so be careful. Some games I'm just never gonna own. Like, for instance, I had this one made for me. This is a bootleg of Nexer. Oh, and it's probably backwards, isn't it? Because I'm looking at it from my thing. Are all these gonna be backwards? Oh man, that's kind of sucky. Anyway, Nexer. Awesome game, but it's really expensive, so I just made a CDR of it. Why not? Why not? Why not? Oh, and also some of them are remasterings, too. I've got all of Electro Haze's remasters. Night Creatures, though, it's backwards. That's hilarious. This game is a weird English, American-made, in 1992, American-made side-scroller, kind of Metroidvania, or what do you want to call it? Metroid-style game. With an open world that you can walk around and do whatever, and it's similar-ish to like Shapeshifter, or Shadow of the Beast, but it has pretty terrible gameplay. It's got some good graphics though, good music, parallax scrolling. I don't hate this, but I think I got this for free. Somebody brought it to one of our Turbo Fests back in the day at the Galloping Ghost in Chicago, and he just put it in a free box, and he's like, anybody want this crap? And I think like 3 or 4 people walked by, and they're like, night creatures, night creatures. I grabbed it. I was like, I don't care what condition it's in. It's a little bit waterlogged, like the manual's kind of beat up and stuff, but it's not terrible, and I'm kind of addicted to this turbo shit, so I grabbed it. Tailspin I think I actually purchased. Foolishly, it's terrible. It is a part of Disney's little agreement with NEC back in the early 90s where they made Tailspin and Darkwing Duck for the Turbo, and they're both horrible games. Okay, Tailspin's bad, but it's not horrible, but Darkwing Duck is fucking awful. Bonk's Revenge, as I was saying, one of the best platformers. This is the second one in the series out of Bonk's Adventure, Bonk's Revenge, and Bonk 3. And it's awesome. I mean, I think it compares really well with Super Mario World and Sonic 2. That's where I would kind of put it as in that echelon. Is it as good as either of those games? Not necessarily, but it is really good. And it's a good way to show off your turbo graphics and show off some of what it can do. Legendary X2 is the sequel to Legendary X, but it was only the sequel in the US. In Japan, it was actually a part of a different series, had nothing to do with it, completely unrelated. But NEC thought it was similar enough, so they just titled it Legendary X2. Why not? I like it better than the original Legendary X2. I think it's a far more accessible game. I think it actually looks and feels more 16-bit too, which is kind of weird. But I think comparatively wise, graphically, it feels like kind of like ActRaiser level. The graphics are really cool, very dark and gory in certain ways. There's some blood and guts in it. I liked it a lot. I think it's a better game and a really good game to get on your turbo. And not too expensive either. Silent Debuggers. This is Nullity's, one of Nully's favorite games. I've never really gotten too far in it. It's hard, and it's also like a first-person dungeon crawler type game, but it's very high-paced, and it's also, some people consider it one of the earlier survival horror type games. So, Silent Debuggers. It's creepy. It's good. Tiger Road. I do not have a manual for this. It's pretty good. Pretty good action platformer. Airzonk. One of my favorites. An excellent, excellent game. And I got a Sparky label on the side. Airzonk was not released in a jewel case. It was released in cardboard, which I absolutely hated the cardboard, but as you can tell, the back is this I used from a different game initially. But Airzonk, shoot 'em up, cute 'em up, whatever you want to call it. It's one of the best shooters on the Turbo. It's so good, and it's really gone up in price. So, if you got a copy, you gotta hang on to it. Raiden is the Turbo port of the classic Raiden game. God, this game's great. It's really good. I think the Turbo version is my favorite. I recently played Raiden Trade, or whatever you want to call it, for this Super Nintendo. This one's way better and way harder too. It's much more fast-paced. Splatterhouse, I played this on Halloween or sometime in October. Fun game. I have more respect for it now than I ever had before. It's kind of gone in bursts or in spurts for me. Like initially when I played it, I was like, whoa, this is so cool and so gory. It's fucking amazing. And then I just got sick of it over the years. I don't know what it was. This manual is in rough shape though. But it's one of the original Turbo games I ever had. This is not the original one I had. The original I ever had, if you're around the central Wisconsin area, you may in the 90s or 80s and 90s remember a rental store called Lincoln Video. My first copy of Splatterhouse I got from that rental place called Lincoln Video. Doesn't exist anymore, and that copy is long gone. Who knows who has it. I played that on a stream once. I played Bloody Wolf on a stream once. This is a great game. This is one of our very few run and gun games on the Turbo. I guess you'd consider Shockman a run and gun too, which is, I think, a better game than this, but this is really good. This is like our Contra / Merc / Ikari Warriors for the Turbo. Great game though. It's got an awesome soundtrack. Love it. Andre Pienza Kickboxing. I don't hate this game at all. Like, holy cow, I got 20 minutes till a meeting. I don't hate this game at all. It's a one-on-one fighting game that is kind of like boxing. The animation's really well done. I like it. I don't hate this game at all. A lot of people really rag on it, but I don't think it's bad at all. It's really good. This game also came out on the Super Nintendo and the Genesis. They called it Best of the Best Kickboxing, I think. But I like this one a lot. I think it's not bad at all. If you enjoyed Best of the Best, you'll love this because it's the same game, basically. I think it's cool because it shows off what the Turbo can do as far as very sleek animations. Then we got TV sports, football, hockey, and basketball, which are sports games, but I have all the sports games, so you gotta. I think football's terrible. Thank God we got John Madden football later on the Turbo's life, because that game is bad. It's probably one of the worst video game footballs I've ever played. World Class Baseball is actually pretty good. It's a part of the Power League series. In Japan, we got Power League, 1 through 5, I think, and then like Power League 93 or something like that. They got baseball games every year that the PC Engine was like a system there. And in America, we got World Class Baseball. I think the Power League 1. It's good. It's a fine baseball game. Nothing bad, nothing great about it. Blazing Lasers. This is one of the best shoot 'em ups, and it was actually, I think, a launch title too. On the Turbo graphics, fantastic game. It's really, really, really well made. Really well made shoot 'em up. Gotta try it. Military Madness. I could talk about this for like 20 minutes just alone on this game. Man, the stories and the times we had playing this game, it's really fun military style action military strategy game. You move your little ships around, you move your armies around, fight bad guys. This is like the precursor to a lot of games that came afterwards. Advanced Wars on the GBA, when we got that in the US, owes everything to this game because it's basically a knockoff of this. This is fantastic. In America, or in Japan, they got a sequel to this called Neo Nectaris, which I think I have. Actually, I'm not even sure if I have it, but it's a good one too. It's really good. It's a lot harder though. The Military Madness. And the music we're listening to right now is actually from Alien Crush. Alien Crush, the original pinball game, the TurboGrafx. Awesome game. I love Alien Crush. It's really good. Then I got Power Golf, another sports game. Crater Maze, pretty fun. I think it came out in Japan as a Doraemon game. Pretty fun. World Court Tennis, another sports game. Dungeon Explorer. This is the game Tim was making fun of me last night because I suck at it. We played it at his house. I don't suck at it. I'm just not as good as him. Dungeon Explorer is one of those games that he could play blindfolded, it seemed, and I was lagging behind. I do not have this game as well memorized as he does. Have I played through this one? I think I did once, but that was probably 25, 30 years ago. I'm way more familiar with Dungeon Explorer 2 because that was a game that me and my friends got into, and the three of us, myself, my nephew Rob, and one of my best friends Matt, the three of us beat the game together. Separately and then together, because in Dungeon Explorer 2 you can take your game saves and like it'll give you a password that you can output and then all come together on one save and then put in all your passwords for your characters and then boom, you all are in the same party, and it was freaking awesome. Keith Courage, I think everybody talks about this game. Either it's a very polarizing. Oh, I'm getting another phone call. That's why this sucks doing this on your phone. It's a very polarizing opinion of Keith Courage. A lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it. I think it's just fine. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If the TurboGrafx and the Genesis were both out at the same time, and someone had me play Altered Beast, and then someone had me play Keith Courage, I probably would have taken the TurboGrafx, because I think Keith Courage is a better game than Altered Beast. For sure. Altered Beast, I guess, is a better a way to show off your game system, like the graphics and stuff, and it's like, whoa, it feels like an arcade. But Keith Courage is a better game overall. It's more fun. It's like an adventure RPG. It's I don't know. I don't want to talk about it too much, but it's similar-ish to Zelda 2, and it's not bad. What the hell is that? All right. Wow, I'm through like 1/6 of everything because this thing goes all the way to the floor. So maybe I'm gonna need to do this again if anybody wants me to, which I don't know if anybody's gonna want me to, but. All right, Keith Courage, I think this is Final Lap Twin, a TurboGrafx racing game. Is it special? Not really, but it does have an RPG mode where you go and like kart race other guys. It's actually pretty neat. Oh my god, so many games to get through. Another racing game. This is a bike racing game by IREM. I actually don't know the name of it. It's a lot of fun. Dragon Spirit. This came out in the US, but I got the PC Engine version because it's way cheaper. It's a top view shoot 'em up. This doesn't even have a thing in it. Top view shoot 'em up, where you fly around as a dragon, killing bad guys. It's pretty great. Wonder Momo. This is probably one of the few beat 'em up type games. It's a side-scrolling action beat 'em up. Did not come out in the US. Wonder Momo. Galaga 88, which was released as Galaga 90. If you know this game, you love it. If you don't know it, you need to play it because it's one of the best. It's the best version of the original Galaga, which is a souped-up version of Galaga out there, in my opinion. It came out on the Turbo. Galaga 90 in the US, Galaga 88 in PC Engine. Gradius, the Turbo 16-bit version of Gradius 1. This is a souped-up version of the NES Classic, so if you've played the NES one and you're like, whoa, I'd like to see that looks more and plays more like Gradius 3 on the Super Nintendo or something, but faster, this is awesome. This is the one. Let's see how far I can get through this. Oh, God, I love this game. Dragon Egg. Dragon Egg is awesome. I actually had, when I was playing through it, I thought it felt so fun and so cool to play through that I would have brought this out to the US. I'm not sure why they didn't. Messiah did this one, NCS. Great graphics, great music. I should play this on a stream one night, because this is actually a really fun game that I'm pretty sure I could complete on one stream. Very fun game. I loved it. It was a lot of fun. Dragon Egg's really good. Rastin Saga 2. I actually don't really have much to say about this. I just think it's fine. It's Rastin Saga. I don't know. If you don't know it, it's, I guess, similar-ish to, like, Legendary Axe, but not as good. Holy shit, I have no idea what this is. Messiah? Oh my god, what is this? I don't know what this is. I'd have to put it in to even know what it is. I honestly, no idea. I don't remember what this is at all, and I can't read the hiragana because I suck. There's the first game that I could not tell you what it is. Moto Rotor 1, the PC Engine version of this. This game is fucking trash. It is garbage. I don't like it at all. Hey, and now it's going to the... Yep, Devil's Crush music. Not a good game. Vol 5. Crazy thing, this is still sealed. I got this in Japan while I was there. Why didn't I open this? What am I, some kind of collect... what do I call them? Let's open this right now. Live and in person. You ready? This game's been sealed for 30 years. And all you collect twats out there are probably getting mad. I just opened it. Boom. It's even like sun faded. Volfied. I call it Volfied, by the way, because that end thing is a D, not Vol5, like I'm sure everybody else thinks it should be. Oh, it's like taped shut. Boom. Ooh. As Sarah would be proud of me. Oh, smell this. It smells like Japan. It actually smells really good. It smells so clean. The sponges in all the TurboGrafx or PC Engine games that when they are shipped from Japan smell like Japan. It smells very clean. Japan's a very clean country, by the way. Don Poco Don. Weird little puzzle platformer game. Oh my god, I scared myself for a second. Couldn't find it. It's similar to like Snow Brothers or Buster Brothers or Bubble Bobble. There you go. It's fun. It's hard, but it's fun. I was gonna say Nightmare Creatures, but Kadash, the PC Engine version of Kadash. It's really fun. If you've never played it, it's a hell of a good arcade game. Oh, Tanoki Bank. These are basically like memory cards for the Turbo or the PC Engine. I use them quite often. I wonder what saves are even on this thing. Bomberman 94. The sequel to Bomberman 93. It's always a toss-up to me which one I actually prefer, but I think that the levels of the versus mode in this game are more fun than 93's. But 93 overall is a better game. As far as one-player mode, I love the levels and then the bosses and stuff. I think in 93 are the best. This is a trilogy on the Turbo, by the way, or PC Engine. And this did come out. No, this is only in Japan, actually. I forgot. I can't believe they didn't bring this out in 94 for the Turbo. How stupid. It should have definitely come out. This is New Adventure Island. I can't remember the name of it on the PC Engine, but this is our version of Adventure Island that Hudson came out with. Really, really good game. One of the later console games. This is Hudson's 49th game in the series. Came out in late 92. Really good stuff. Battle Load Runner. I got this game in Japan at a game store in downtown Fukuoka. I was so excited to see this. It was $30. I don't know how much it goes for. if that was a good deal or not, but I had a stack of PC Engine games, and I think the guy gave me a deal. But this is so much fun. It's so much fun. Multiplayer. We played this not too long ago. It's kind of one of our go-tos. It's like either Bomberman 93 or 94 or Battle Load Runner. It's a lot of fun. And every year at VGS, there's tournaments on Battle Road Runner that are really fun. Then this brings us to one of my favorite 16-bit versions of Street Fighter 2. The humongous... Oh, is this 16 meg or 20 meg? I don't remember. It's a huge game. It's so huge that they put it in a double case. Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. Fantastic game. It compares so well to the Super Nintendo games. I think it looks and sounds just as good. It's fucking fantastic. And the gameplay's really good. It's tight. This is a great version of this game. And then I think I got a few more HuCards. Let's see if I can rock through the rest of them in less than a couple minutes. I gotta get to a meeting. Space Invaders. Really good version of Space Invaders. This also, Taito came out with these on the Genesis and Super Nintendo. This is a really good version of it. There's like original Space Invaders and then like a souped up 16-bit one, and it's really cool on here. R-Type, I've got the Japanese version of R-Type 1. Really good. This is only half the game though, which is really weird. Because in Japan they couldn't fit it all on one HuCard, but luckily for us United States people, we got both versions in one HuCard, or one piece turbo chip. The original R-Type came out completed in America. This is the Japanese version of Keith Courage, because, right? Why would I have this? I have both US and Japanese versions. I don't know. This is Crater Maze, the Japanese version of Crater Maze. So I had Crater Maze up here. This is Doraemon. These are the same game. Just one's American, one's English. And actually, they're completely different games, different characters, different everything. I prefer Doraemon because it's a more interesting game. Graphics are more colorful and pretty. I do not know this one. I think this is the weird farming simulator one. I don't know the name of this at all. If you know it, let me know. It's volume 32. Bomberman the original, because of course. It's also included in the Gate of Thunder 4-in-1. What is this? This is, shit, this has been translated in, fan translated. Oh, what is this? I can't think of the name of it. I'll remember it and I'll comment. Aoi Blink? A-I-O Blink? It's like a detective game where you run around as 3 characters at the same time. It's really fun. And the American version of it is freaking awesome. And this brings me to the last HuCard. Yes, this is the last HuCard I have, a legitimate HuCard that I have. And this is actually a homebrew, the only homebrew HuCard ever created, other than that music CD we looked at a little before, that Remute. Atlantean. This is an awesome game. It's called an HuCard Volume 1, because it's the very first ever. My friend Andrew made this, and he actually 3D printed the HuCards themselves. So this is a homebrew HuCard. Very awesome, very original. Paul, Oldman, and Andrew made this entire game. The 3D printing and HuCard development was done by Oldman. The game development was done by Andrew, and the graphics, game manual, and the game design was worked on by Paul. Sun Team Paul, some of those booklets we were looking at earlier. Good game, hard as balls though. It's a shoot 'em up / defender-ish or old school arcade kind of clone. It's hard. It's balls hard, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I liked it a lot. And speaking of bootlegs and stuff, so I'm not going to be able to get to the CD-ROM stuff. I have 3 minutes to get to a meeting, so I'm going to have to jump off real quick here. My apologies. I got through the HuCards though, but there are actually 4 other ones that I've got here that I wanted to share. Can you see? Yeah, up here. This is a HuCard of an EverDrive. If you know much about the EverDrive on the Super Nintendo or Genesis or NES, they're basically all-in-one cartridges that you can put everything on. There's an SD card slot right there, which includes every single HuCard ever made on my Turbo EverDrive. And then 3 bootlegs that I had made of very, I shouldn't say hard to find games, but just games that I was sick and tired of paying high prices for. My apologies, but I like them, and I'm supporting friends that make these, so they're pretty cool and they're pretty well made. First off is Koryun. Koryun is done by Turbo Reproductions. You can find them on Facebook or wherever. And their HuCards are pretty slick. They're very nice looking. This is a bootleg though. This is not a legit copy of it. It's just a very good game. Koryun, and it plays in my TurboGrafx, so I'm happy. Koryun, and then I had him make me a Neutopia 1 and 2 double HuCard with both games on one, where you use a little switch on the top or the bottom to play either game. You have to switch it. It's dual HuCard. It has Neutopia 1 and 2. I'll play these sometime on a stream. They're very action-adventure RPG style. Similar, actually, pretty much Zelda clones is what most people call them, but I'd say they're similar to Zelda. They were released after Zelda. This Neutopia 1 was released after Zelda 1 and 2 had already been out, but before Link to the Past. So when you're playing Neutopia and you're thinking like, oh my god, this is just such a Link to the Past clone, it came out before Link to the Past. A lot of ideas that Link to the Past came out with were obviously because of Zelda and being a sequel to Zelda, but also Neutopia isn't totally just a complete ripoff. It's actually a really fun game too. And then I had him make another dual card for me, which was Superstar Soldier. You can't even read that. It's Superstar Soldier and Soldier Blade. I had him make... Turbo Reproductions made me one of these, and even included a really slick manual that they made of both games that are done in these like phone card style. Anyway, awesome. Superstar Soldier and Soldier Blade, they both work fantastic. They're both really fun games. Should check them out for sure. I have bootlegs of them because I just don't want to pay crazy prices for them. But hey, that's all of the HuCards that I have for the TurboGrafx 16/PC Engine. I'm going to have to do another one of these in another day and get through the CD stuff. I think I could do it. I've got a shitload of games here. But I'm so glad that I was able to make this video real quick, go through the HuCards, and show off my tower. This is how much I got through today. You can't even see where my hand is. Anyway, got through this today. That's how much I got through, including what was in my portable cases and stuff. So I'm going to jump off now. That was my very first attempt at making a Twitch stream on my phone. Hopefully it doesn't look like total garbage, but it was fun to hang out. It is now noon. I have a meeting to get to. That was how I spent my lunch break. Anyway, until next time, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I will see you Thursday night for our stream and then Saturday morning for the next stream. Peace, and if you want to continue the conversation with me on Twitterverse, follow me at _Joshua Turbo. Don't forget the underscore, as it is the most important underscore in all the internet. Laters!